Hi guys, it's me again, Phil Andrew. Welcome to my channel, and this is Life Stories with Phil Andrew. Hello to my subscribers! Welcome back! If you're new here, hello. I'm doing this new series, Life Stories with Phil Andrew. This is basically me telling stories about life, and I'm starting with my story because yes. So yes, I will be uploading videos for this series about my life stories that I think would, excuse me. I just had my dinner, I'm so sorry. Like I said, I will be doing a bunch of stories, a bunch of uploads about my life that I think are worth sharing. And I also think that some people, some of you out there can relate to, and we will learn together, and I will be sharing the lessons that I've learned and would hopefully help you with what you've been going through with life. And pretty soon, I will also be telling stories about some other people's or famous people's life, or just some remarkable life stories. And I might also include some tragic stories about life that we would all learn, some lessons. And I just want this series to be like a productive one, and I want us to learn together and interact with each other. That's why on my last upload I asked you guys to leave your comments and just share your thoughts about this story that I am telling you about. By the way, thank you so much to those of you who watched my first story. Actually, I decided to make it into two parts because I didn't realize it was too long, and if I didn't divide it into two, it would be like a long video. It would be like a 38 or 40-minute video, and I don't want to upload such long videos, of course, because you might get bored or something. And me personally, I actually watch 40 to 50 minutes video on YouTube, but to YouTubers who are really interesting, such as Sarian. I really love her, and I started watching her Mystery and Makeup series, and now with her dark history. Anyway, she's actually the one who really inspired me in doing this series, because I also love telling stories. And it took me a long time to really convince myself to do this series, because I know that I'm taking a risk, because I started this channel with K-pop reactions because I love K-pop. And if you also love K-pop, please visit my channel. I have a lot of playlists there, and if those are your idols also, so go ahead and check out my channel and enjoy binge watching my videos if you want to. And so last time for my story, I told you about my life story. Basically, I told you guys about me coming from a broken family, and it's entitled A Broken Family. So smart, right? I'm gonna leave the links down below if you want to go ahead and watch those before watching this one. But if you don't want to watch those stories, and it's fine with me, just go ahead and enjoy this video. By the way, happy Valentine's Day, you guys! I almost forgot. Maybe because I'm bitter. Please watch my previous upload if you want to, and it would all make sense, because I'm going to mention my previous stories here and there because it's all connected. Of course, because this is my life story. Anyway. Okay, so here's the thing. For my last upload, I mentioned that I actually did not ask permission from my family in telling my story. I just mentioned it to them after recording the video, and they were kind of okay with it. And in fact, some of my siblings watched my video, and they had some positive feedback. We just laugh about it. But this time I'm actually nervous, and I'm actually taking a risk about telling my love stories, my past relationships, because I didn't really share all of these stories to them. And I actually did not officially come out to them. We really didn't we didn't have that the sit down and talk about it in details and sharing with all of our hearts, because for me it's just so awkward. And they didn't really ask about it actually, so I didn't find any reason to share it to them as much as I wanted to, because it's family. With my siblings, we're really close. I'm really having a hard time sharing this to my mom as well, but I don't know, for some reason I'm more comfortable sharing it and recording it and sharing it to the world rather than with my family first. And I know that's weird, but you know, I gotta do what I gotta do because this makes me feel like I had to, like, for some reason it helps me unburden this, and you know, hopefully all of you can, you know, relate and, like I said, learn some lessons from my stories. And so I'm kind of nervous, but you know, I'm just going with the flow here, you guys, and I hope they would understand this is my way of telling them, per se. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I'm nervous, okay? I'm nervous. Okay, anyway, so first of all, before I start with my first story, my first relationship, I just want to tell you a quick background. So those of you who haven't watched my last upload, I was born, again, like I said, I was born in a Christian family, a very, like a conservative, not very conservative, but you know, just Christian standards family, born again Christian. And you know, growing up, when I was like 6 or 7 years old, we used to go to like these Sunday schools in our church every Sunday. Of course, Sunday school. Well, it's just like a school type of, it's like a class and talking about the Bible, talking about Jesus and our faith, and you know, understanding the Bible, like teaching the kids the foundation of our faith, which is the Bible, the truth, the Holy Trinity, and all that. Growing up, of course, we all know that in Christianity, there's really a big issue about homosexuals. And I'm not gonna go into details. For now, I am planning on doing an upload about that. But for now, I'm just gonna say that it's really a big no-no in our church. And shortcut to high school, because like I said from my previous upload, beginning junior year and senior year, I became very active in our church. I was in a music ministry, I was in a praise and worship ministry, I was like one of the youth leaders in our church. And you know, I started to have those you know, feelings towards men during those times. And it was really like I really struggle. It was really hard. And even now, I think I'm shaking talking about it because it's so hard, because you know, you wanted to share with your church friends and your church sisters and brothers, and it's so hard to express yourself because it's such a big no-no and nobody really talks about it in our church. Every sermon that we had every Sunday, it's all about, you know, the basic stuff like faith and tithing and giving, and you know, sharing the gospel, and which is good, which is really helpful. And I'm going to dig deep about that during my next upload, like I said. But I'm just letting you know that it was really hard having those struggles, having those feelings while serving a church, serving the ministry, and serving the Lord. It became like a really big conflict and confusion. If I'm feeling this way and the church is telling me that it's not okay to be attracted to men, so while I am doing this stuff to God, is he like accepting my services, like singing for him, playing instruments for him? If my feelings are invalid, then what am I doing in the church? I mean, it's all senseless, because you're telling us no, this feeling is wrong, but then I don't know, it's such a big confusion, and I'm gonna go into details about that, like I said again. And so let's go to my first relationship. I actually started, and first of all, wait, I am all over the place, I'm so sorry. Okay, before I go through with the, you know, the relationship journey that I had, for the sake of anonymity, I will not I will not mention the real names, because you know, I don't want to have issues. Like, you know what would happen if I do that, so we're not gonna do that, you guys, because it's just like a no-no. I'm just going to like I'm just gonna replace their names with some random names that I can think of. So so disclaimer, the names that I'm mentioning are not the real names. So to all my exes, if you're watching this, I am not mentioning your name. Don't you worry, child. Okay, so let's start with my first relationship. My relationship actually started when I was 16 or 17 years old. I think during my first year of college, or after graduating high school. I'm not really sure, but it's like between 16 and 17. Again, for the sake of anonymity, we will name him Rob. Okay, so Rob, I met Rob. During that time, I used to like, we have this place here in Dumaguete, it's called the Boulevard. And you know, when you want to think and you want to unwind and you want to like really think about life and just relax, it's actually like a safe road, side of the road, and the rest of the place or the situation is like the sea. Dumaguete Sea. Yeah, this is the picture right here. So this is the boulevard in Dumaguete City. And I used to like walk after school during the weekdays between 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. I used to walk along, I'm just with myself, and you know, walk and you know, witness some people, be happy and stuff like that. And during that time, it was really like safe in our place. But right now, it's just all of these things are happening. But anyway, it was still safe to roam around, just walk, and not worry about somebody, you know, snatching or taking your stuff and all that. And so I decided to like sit on the bench and just, you know, watch and feel the sea breeze and, you know, experience the fresh air and all that, fresh quote unquote air. And all of a sudden, this guy, Rob, sat beside me and he introduced himself to me. And at first I was really scared because it's a stranger and he's actually like, yeah, 7 years older than me at yeah, he's 7 years older than me, and I was 17 and he was like 24. Yeah, if my math is correct. Yeah. What's wrong with me? Okay, anyway, so I don't know, I think he just decided to like, you know, talk to me because I was sitting alone. And then at first I was really scared. I was you know, not really responding to him like warmly because I was kind of nervous and, you know, scared. I became comfortable because he's actually really a good person. So it all started there, and then we went on a stroll. We went you know, he had this motorcycle and we went around the city and just, you know, experiencing the city. And that was actually my first time roaming around the city because that was my second year in Dumaguete, living in Dumaguete. So I was, at the same time, I was really curious on what the city looks like. So I decided to go with him. And if you come to think of it, excuse me, I was a teenager and you're not supposed to go with strangers. And that would have been like, that would have been like a very scary, you know, true crime or serial killer podcast story out there. But I guess I was lucky to go with, if you're listening and if you're a teenager, you should not, okay, go with strangers that you don't, you should not go with strangers, okay? Just be in a public place. Do not do what I did, just going with this stranger without really knowing him. Just refuse it. If he or she asks you to go with her or him, no. Tell him or her no. Just know the person first, exchange numbers if you're interested. Just don't go right ahead. That was my mistake, actually. It was really a mistake. That's such a no-no. You should not be going with strangers, especially if you're a teenager. But then I did, and so that it is what it is. And so anyway, yeah, we roam around the city and we exchanged numbers and then we communicated, and he became my first about everything. And when I say everything, everything. Everything. I'm not gonna go into details because hello. And so yeah, I don't remember how many months our relationship was, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's less than a year. And of course he was in college back then and I was in first year college or senior year, I don't know. I think as much as I could remember, okay, because my brain is like an old brain. I guess aside from being really busy with school, the communication gradually stopped. And of course, when you're in a relationship for the first time, all of those feelings are like really fresh, and you know, all of those sweet moments, honeymoon stage as they say. I don't know, it just stopped. Yeah, I really can't remember the reason why, but it just stopped. Me personally, I just really didn't feel, because I was really, really young and I didn't know anything about being in a relationship. And I think the age gap became like a main reason, because we couldn't really communicate well when it comes to like things and stuff. And so I think we decided to stop, and bye bye. Maybe if he's watching this one, he will make me remember things, but I cannot really remember what happened there. So that's my first relationship. I was 16 or 17. Another one from during my college days. This was just actually like a short one, a short-term relationship. He was like 18 or I was 18 as well. Both of us were 17 or 8. No, both of us were 18. Yeah, I think. Yeah, we were in the same university, Silliman University, and I was taking up IT, information technology, and he was taking up mass communication. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Oh, my brain is so old. Anyway, I'm including this person in my story because this is really, really interesting, because we have the same faith. He's also a born-again Christian, and that's the instant thing that made me really interested with him, because I was really, really curious on how the relationship would work, because I became interested because we had like the same struggle. When we talk about our faith, church, and all the struggle that we're having, you couldn't really express your sexuality in the church and all that. And both of us also were in a music ministry, and that was really, really interesting to me. And that's why that friendship became like a romantic one, because I actually really, really considered that relationship serious, because we were serious, and we used to like wait on each other's classes when our schedules are not the same, of course. And then I would have my class and he would wait outside, and vice versa and all that, and we would go take some snacks, and we used to date in all these very romantic places in the university and all that. The typical college romantic life, a college dating life, I mean. And so after a few months, the reason that I decided to break up with him, it's because of my faith and because of church. Yeah, because during that time I was still active in our church, and I decided to choose church, and that's why I unfortunately broke up with him. If I think of it now, that was really, really like a silly decision to make, because like I said, I'm gonna go into details about that, my faith versus my sexuality. But that's basically the reason why I broke up with him. And it was really, really like a struggle, because I remember he kept on begging and texting me to really, and he was telling me like, that's not enough reason, we should we can do this together, we love each other and all that. And it makes me really, really sad thinking about it now, because our relationship was really, really good, and I just let go without even thinking it through. But it is what it is again. And there's another one during college when I shifted into music education. There was this guy, let's name him, I forgot to name the other college romance. So that's the first college romance that I had. We will just call him Wendell. So that was Wendell, my first college romance. The second and last one during college, and that's actually my longest relationship. I was with him for like 1.5 years, and we are gonna name him Anthony. I don't know, you guys, I'm just putting up some random names. He was in the same college department as I was. I was taking up music education, and he was taking up choral conducting, choir. Yeah, that was his major. No. Sorry, no, voice major. Yeah, and he's like really one of the greatest tenors that I've heard in my life. Yeah, I'm gonna give him that because he's really, really good. Anyway, the first time that I met Anthony, I really didn't actually like him, because he has this like bitchy attitude, because the culture in that department, in music department, in that university before, was when you're in your freshman year, you should be like the innocent one. You should not be talking back to the high years, which is understandable. But it came to an extent like he was just too bitchy, and he was just too like his attitude was like almost all of us in our batch didn't really like him at first. But of course we were judging him and all that. But the months went by, and for some reason we became close, and there was stuff happening. I joined the band, and I was one of the first few freshmen who was able to like join the band tour in some local places here in the Philippines, and it was called the concert band. And yeah, it was supposed to be like the second year, the third year, and the fourth year college students who's supposed to be in that tour. But if you're really good, apparently I was that good, or maybe there were no other French horn players at that time. By the way, beside the trumpet, I used to play the French horn. My position before was first player, first horn, first F horn, and that was really like a big deal, because when you're starting in the band, usually you would start like from whether fourth or third horn. And during my first year in the band, I became one of the first horn players immediately. So I was so lucky enough to be part of that tour, and so many happened. That was the time when we really became close. Back then, he had a partner named Steven. Let's call him Steven. So Anthony and Steven was still together, and I'm pretty aware about that. But I don't know if he told me about them breaking up, or it was me being stupid, young and stupid, and just flirting with him, being aware that he has like a boyfriend during that time. And thinking about it now, it was actually like a cycle of what my father did with my mother. Like, it's the same situation where you're pretty aware that you're not available, but you're still flirting with this person. And it just hit me now that I'm doing the same thing as my father did, although it's vice versa. I'm pretty aware that he has a boyfriend, and then my father. Anyway, you get that point. Okay, shortcut to my second year in music, and he was in his third year. Yeah, I think I was in my second year when we started dating. And when that happened, all of my best friends in our batch was really disappointed in me, because they did not expect for me to really go with the relationship, because like I said, most of my batchmates really hated him during that time. Of course, it's a different situation now. We all of us, we actually became a group of friends eventually, because again, like I said, we misjudged him. But during that time, we really hated him. But when I became close to him, I understood him. I came to a realization that people just misjudged him, and he was just like misunderstood. And we became close, and we dated. And that was actually one of the highlights of my college days, because we really had some amazing moments, and we also had some struggling moments. Both of us experienced having nothing at all, like no money, like zero. And we used to borrow money from our close friends, and even we even experienced one night. I'm not gonna cry. Whew, what is happening? No, it just hit me now. I remembered one time we were celebrating one of our monthsaries, or I think that was our anniversary, first year anniversary. I don't know. I cannot remember. But it's just one of those saris, one of those celebrations. We just ordered like the cheapest fast food that we could afford, and just celebrated it in one of the rooms in our school. Yeah, that's what I can remember. And we also experienced, we really had nothing at all. We didn't have money to buy even the cheapest food that we could find. So we just stayed in our apartment, and then we just slept the entire day. Yeah. That was so sad. We slept the entire day, and good thing one of our closest friends, she was looking for us, and she was wondering why we're not answering her text, why we're not answering her calls. And I think me or Anthony finally replied, and he just told her the truth that we don't have money to go out and eat. And yeah, she, decided to treat us dinner. And that is one of the hardest times that we had. And so until now, I really, really treasured that relationship actually, because that's also one of the main reasons why I quit church. I became inactive in our church because some of the people, some of the higher positions in our church also are involved in our department, college departments. I'm not gonna mention the positions because it would be obvious, and I'm not allowed to do that. But there's this woman in our church that's also in our school department. And, I think she eventually became aware of our relationship. And I don't know, I'm not saying that she's the one who really like told the other church members about our relationship. I don't know until now. But apparently it became like a topic in our church that Phil has a relationship with this guy in school. And that's the time when I really stopped going to church. That's the reason why I became inactive. Aside from being really, really busy, I was really busy with school, band, choir, and school. But the main reason why I stopped going to that church is because of that rumor. It's not rumor, it's actually true. But because of that issue. And of course, it's a big no-no in our church. And so I decided to stop. And that's, I think, I'm not saying that it is, but I think that's also one of the reasons why my sponsor from our church stopped helping me with the finances and with paying the school. And so that's also one of the reasons why I quit school after 2 years with my music education course. And when I stopped going to school, I was looking for some jobs to really, survive. And yeah, me and Anthony are still, going and getting stronger. But when I started working, not the company that I'm in right now, but I was working in one of the biggest BPO companies here in Dumaguete. That time, 2009, that's also the year that they started this BPO company. And I was one of the, pioneering trainees or whatever. And I started working there, and our account is one of the biggest telecommunication services here in our country. And I became a call center agent, and I became suspicious about Anthony because trust issues.